Flow TV. Just coming at you guys today to talk about the light. God had been dealing with me on this and speaking to me about this and showing me this in life, because when those areas in your life are dark, the light has to hit it, but the light doesn't hit it just to expose it. The light hits it to make a change and a manifestation and to show you the works and acts of God. In the beginning of the Bible, immediately the first thing that happens is an interpretation of the light showing up in our lives. And that's how it should be going forward as you walk with God. In Genesis 1, 2, 3 through 4, the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. And God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. I wanted to do this video because it shows God, and I know a lot of people have their interpretation and their relationships with God and the things and the acts of God and the nature of God and the attributes of God and the gifts of God and the Spirit of God. But God saw the light, and the light was good, and God divided the light from the darkness. And sometimes we need to divide those areas in our life that are dark in those light spaces, because God can't be with darkness, or light can't be with darkness. That's why he says that we don't become unequally yoked, because it prevents the light. Someone can't turn your voice down. They can only dim in your light. And if they dim in your light, that turns your voice down, because God is no longer present. The voice of God is no longer there. The Spirit of God and the acts of God is no longer there. So don't allow anyone to dim your light. It's produced by light and fire. Light and fire produces and pushes out and possesses purity. What I mean by that, the situation has to have some kind of power, and that's the fire of God. That's the nature of God and the act of God. But it has to have light on it. It has to have some kind of like God nature, and that's what purity is. It has to be cleansed, and it can't have any discrepancy or any nature of another kind. That's why some people will say, like, God, if this is not you, or if God, if you're not in this, remove it, because the purity is not there. And I think we need that in order to walk in that destiny and that plan of God, because he lights the lamp to set on a pedestal for people to see. And he doesn't light the lamp to set on a pedestal for you to fall, or for you not to overcome or succumb or succeed in life or have prosperity. So when he sets you on that pedestal, you are his pure perfection, an act, a working of God in his nature and his spirit. And I want to say that to you guys today, because I notice in the moments in my life when things happen, I look for the light. I look for the God moment. I look for the God person or the God situation. And that is the light. That is him shedding light and exposing light on the situation that is happening. There's so many moments in the Bible where we see things happening, and we're like, well, was God present, or was it, an act of the devil? And we give the devil, Satan, a lot of power in situations where it's really God changing the situation for the better, and there are some things that have to take place. So if you can find the God moment or the light in your situation and see that it is good, you'll know that God is present in your life. You can ask God. I asked him for the light, and the light showed up in my life, and it continues to shine every day. So I just ask that for you guys right now, that God shines his light upon your life in those dark areas and those areas that need to be exposed. I know we don't like to showcase those things, but once you showcase them and you acknowledge them and you're aware of them, you're able to shed light on them and change them in Jesus' name, and your life is able to proceed. Some people's lives are at a halt because the light is not in there. There's darkness, and we're not judging you if darkness has come upon your life. Even when darkness was upon the face of the deep, God's spirit still hovered around it. He still was ever present. Just have to speak good into those situations and speak the light of God. I only came to you guys today to talk about the light. Until another episode of the Flow TV, much love, be blessed, God's love.